Greetings! Welcome to the podcast. My name is Mike Bankhead. I am your host. I'm a bass player and songwriter from Dayton, Ohio. This week it is my privilege and honor to welcome Nathan Peters. This gentleman and I go back a long time, over 2 decades actually. In fact, I'm pretty sure I first saw him play a show when he was still in high school. Yeah, that's the guest today on the You Could Be My Aramis podcast. Nathan is here to talk about Dayton Music Fest, which is coming your way in 2 weeks, October 21st and 22nd. Let's get to the conversation, shall we? Hey there, Nathan Peters.
Hi, Mike. Bankhead. One of my oldest friends in Dayton, Ohio.
Because we are old. Yeah, it's been easily over 2 decades.
Yeah, I'd say late 90s, very beginning 2000s, maybe.
We knew each other when we were young.
Oh man, yeah. Let's travel back in time and do it all again. No,
it would be. Cool. There were some good times. So for the folks who are listening that might not know you, can you give like a short, minute or two biography of yourself for an introduction?
Sure. So my name's Nathan Peters. I've been involved in, certainly the Dayton music scene since the late 90s through the 2000s. Played in several bands, Pig-Eyed Jackson, Captain of Industry, Vinyl Dies. My current projects are Lioness, still have some TV Queen singles on the way, and do some couple tribute bands, and just generally try to promote and help do shows for things. And took over Dayton Music Fest about it's now 5 years. We've missed a couple years. So yeah, I just been involved in music for a really long time. I love it. It's a passion. And yeah, that's my whole life story wrapped up in a few words, I guess.
That makes you my kind of people. And you're here today. Not that I wouldn't talk about your other bands, but that's a different episode. You're here today to talk about Dayton Music Fest. Before we talk about the Dayton Music Fest of 2022, which is in 2 weeks, do you remember what year that started?
2003 or 2004. Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure this is the 18th year. It might have been 03.
I feel like I went to this in that garage behind Elbows.
No, that was Team Evil Now.
Oh, I've been to way too many shows.
Yeah, but no, we did 2 of those. And each year I was like, it took me like 3 years in between doing them to want to do them again because it was so much effort. And I was like, just wanted to really play in a band. But yeah, so obviously booking and promoting is kind of in my nature. I've been doing that and for a real long time, just trying to always build things, the scene, whatever scene I'm in, like build up myself, whatever I'm doing, and the people around me.
Which is kind of what being in a music community is supposed to be all about, right? We're not supposed to try to compete with each other. We're all trying to make art that people can enjoy and help them get through the craziness that is our life in these times.
Yeah, whenever I see a friend of mine doing something cool, thriving in some way in music, it makes me nothing but happy. Until they don't want to come play the shows anymore, then I get mad. But I'm just kidding.
So, Dayton Music Fest, since you've taken it over 5 years ago, we call it that. It's not always only Dayton bands. I feel like I saw Happy play one of these, Happy Chichester from Columbus. You had a band in from Japan, which is kind of cool. It's nice to get the community out and see talent from other areas. But it is mostly other bands because it is Dayton music, or mostly Dayton bands because it's Dayton Music Fest. What do you expect? Like, so let's say I'm a community member here in Dayton, and I see on my calendar that, Dayton Music Fest is October 21st and 22nd. What should I expect from this event as a concert goer?
Huge variety of different types of music. I always put it out there for people that want to apply to it, and I check everybody's stuff out, and I try to include as many different people as possible. We're going to have a songwriters in a round starting at 6 o'clock at Yellow Cab, both Friday and Saturday. And that's a little ode to all of us old Canal Street folks who used to go see the songwriters in rounds on Sundays, sometimes during the week. And just fantastic variety of people. We got a DJ both nights at Bob's, and we have some hip hop going on Friday. There's metal, punk, soul band, indie stuff. I each year really do. I keep wanting to be more inclusive. I really wanted to bite off more hip hop this year, and then we're kind of where we're at with hip hop. But like including people like Mike Cooley and be like, hey, you tell me what's cool. That's how like Lamborghini's on the show, because he's like, this guy's awesome. Put Lamborghini on there, which I kind of love that name. Formerly known as, I can't remember what it's.
That's a brilliant artist name.
Yeah, Lamborghini. I feel like the hip hop heads always come up with like super clever names. But like trying to tap people and like be like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I'd love to get like the Dayton funk scene involved. I think all those dudes want like 10 grand a piece when they do a show. So, my ideal situation is to, we're kind of back on ground zero. This is exactly how I did the first year I did it, which I just did Yellow Cab and Bob's, because I wanted to kind of bring it back to the roots where I started it from and build it back up. In 19, we had Brightside included in a few other venues. There's an inherent cost to that. We also pulled in somebody like Erica Winterstrom, who, so took out some risk involved with money there.
That was a great show, by the way. I was there.
Oh, yes. And, of course, it's totally worth doing things like that. I just, there's a certain element of me that's like, I want to build it kind of grassroots again and get it back up and get more sponsorship. I mean, YSO's a presenting sponsor this year. They're our media partner. So it ends up kind of being a fundraiser for YSO after the bands get paid, which is awesome. Like, I just think it's such a good support mechanism back and forth between the two. I love YSO. It's like, I want to be involved in everything they do. And I think it's so cool that they want to be involved in this too. So those are like some of the just real cool things. I mean, I always try to get legacy stuff that's happened in the Dayton music scene that always made me happy, and things that were kind of happened maybe, 6 years ago that were really popular, and then things that are really cool and popular now and that people are into. I want it to be a thing that gets people excited. And then, the few kind of national touring bands, we kind of throw in whatever we can get. But I always try to get somebody like, the Mulchmen, or like this Haunting Souls reunion's just going to be out of this world. They haven't done this lineup since this is the original lineup with like Nate Farley and Jamie and a couple other people. And like, this is the first time they've done this show since 1989.
Well, that's pretty crazy.
I know. And it's exciting to me that I always feel like, well, what's going to be the thing that ties it together next year? And then inevitably somebody comes with me to an idea, or I contact somebody. I mean, I reach out every year. I try to find these things that kind of have mattered in Dayton for a really long time, that don't happen very often. Like one year I got Schmerzel to agree to come play, and then they got in a car wreck, so they didn't end up being able to come. But it's like, I'm always trying to find somebody that just means so much to all the music goers in Dayton that I just know will bring out a lot of the scene that doesn't come out as much anymore. And, and then that'll turn them on to some of the younger artists that are playing all the time now. So it inevitably, in my mind, it's find the multi-generational things and then expose the newer to the older scenester folks, and vice versa. some of these older folks are going to see newer bands and be like, oh my gosh. And some of these young kids are going to come see some of these older bands and get their minds blown. Like, that's what really excites me about Dayton Music Fest.
Those are two fantastic headliners you got. I've never seen Haunting Souls. They were no longer doing anything by the time I started going to shows. Now, I don't think you can be in the rock scene in our town and not know who they were, especially since a lot of those guys have been in other bands.
Yeah.
And as many pictures as we've all seen taken in Canal Street, we're used to seeing their name up on mixed board of who's coming next week from pictures in the past. And I never saw the Mulchmen until like 3 or 4 years ago, because they were done when I started going to shows as well. And
right.
You've got two of those bands from 30 plus years ago playing the show. And what you just said is something I hope happens. I hope some of the folks who used to go to shows in the late 80s and early 90s that don't anymore want to go out and have a good time and see a band from their youth, and they come out and they see someone like Paige or Amber or the Raging Nathans or Kay Carter or Yuppie, and they're like, oh, there are still people here making good music.
Oh, it absolutely does happen. I mean, I've witnessed it. I mean, that's the cool thing about DMF is it's been around for so long that it has a legacy even in those people's minds who don't come out to shows as much. And then when they see something that's just like a legacy show where they like, I got to go see the Mulchmen play. I got to go see the Haunting Souls thing that hasn't happened since 1989. It's like, they're going to come out. And, by gosh, I think they'll probably come out early and stay for the whole doggone thing. So I'm always very tired, but very satisfied after a whole full weekend of DMF. It's just like it always kind of soothes my soul to have it all done. But I try to set myself up for as least stress as possible. Inevitably, I can't really help but being a psychopath about things. But
the takeaway is that it's a lot of work to put on a music festival. Ladies and gentlemen listening, I'd like you to realize that it takes a lot of work to put something like this together. And if you like music, live music at all, you should go attend this to make all of Nathan's very hard work and stress pay off for him.
I mean, I really just do it to pay the bands and to have it continue. And I feel privileged to just be able to, being a 40-year-old at this point, I feel pretty privileged to continue to be able to be around and, have some sort of relevancy in the scene and just get to play music with my friends and do cool things in town. So it is a lot of work, but it's always worth it to me. I just always I basically start at right after DMF's done, like trying to pinpoint down the things that will kind of make next year special. And I get a lot of no's, and then I get a few yeses, and it always seems to work out. But I ask for swearing at motorists every year.
Well, they got to come over from Germany, but you should keep asking.
I know. One of these years it'll be like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna come to America around that time. Let me come back and play.
That would be awesome.
Don can play drums.
Yeah, I haven't seen them live. I was doing door at Canal Street the last time I saw them live. I was working.
Oh wow!
Night. So that's not been recent.
Yeah.
You're not even playing your own show this year.
Oh, well, that has changed because the band dropped off. So Lioness is going to play Friday night.
Okay. I was like, that's kind of weird that you're not even playing your own show. Who dropped off, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, no, it's okay. It was a Rattlesnake Venom Trip. Their drummer is having a surgery, as I understand it. So they had to cancel a bunch of cool stuff that they were planning on doing. And they're kind of just hitting it hard right now. They just released a really cool music video. And, as far as metal concerned, they're really great. It's some guys that were in 12 Tribes and Evan DeVell. And I don't know the full history or who all's in it, but they're great. Really cool band. So anyway, it happened like a month ago. And I just asked the Lioness folks real quick, hey, can we just hop on here?
So you get to squeeze all those people onto the Blind Bob stage.
Yeah, we've done it before, and there's less of us now. So
I know you've done it before, but man, there's not a lot of room up there.
No, there isn't. You're totally right.
For bands that are like more than 4 people, it's tough.
Well, that band's kind of different now. I'm playing an analog synth, and Kevin's playing a bunch of analog synths, and Evan DeVel's playing guitar now, and Dave's playing bass, and Ian's still playing drums, and Sister and Kim. So
differently textured.
Oh, it's totally different now. And John still plays violin. It's always been a thing with John. Like, he can't always come to everything.
Yeah.
Just because of how busy he is with the Philharmonic and stuff. So,
professional.
But so yeah, I am playing now. I was kind of purposefully leaving myself off the fest this year. But then I'm also very excited because we did a Lioness show like a couple months ago, and it just felt great. The songs are sounding better than ever. We're writing some really cool new songs, so I'm excited to play.
Awesome.
So yeah. Anyway, I am playing.
You are playing your own show, as you should.
I know, right? Well, that was always a weird thing to me too, because it was like, it seems like a weird thing to be like, oh, I'm gonna put myself on, and but then also it's like, well, I always did that. So
you did.
I mean, just because I took something over, I mean, I just mainly tried to refocus it back on Dayton music. And of course, my whole goal in music at this point in my life is just to play cool things. So just slide it right in there.
Yeah. In fact, that Captain show at Bob's, the last time Captain played, is the picture on Blind Bob's official website. And I am right in the middle of that picture standing next to your sister.
I know. And the thing I love about that picture so much is there just looks like there's just joy there.
There is. Everybody, I don't remember what song you were doing, but it must have been one of like something from the first record, because we're all like just gleeful.
Oh, it felt so cool to see that photo. And yeah, I think it's like going to be the official Blind Bob's photo forever, because it's been on there for a long time. It's what a joyful photo. I mean, if only they could have caught maybe like, the first Brainiac reunion that happened was, they called it We Eat Sugar. And then like, I got to do a couple songs with that. It was really cool. And, but like, I think it was good because, right before the show, because it was a fundraiser for Jeremy, they were like kind of worried because they didn't think like a lot of people thought it was fake and not actually happening. And then a lot of people didn't know that We Eat Sugar was the name of Brainiac before Brainiac. So they like, all of a sudden were like, hey, we're actually doing this show, like Tyler and them had to like start posting like, hey, this is really happening. And that was the night that part of Blind Bob's floor broke. So they could have got some probably cool pictures from that. I'm sure there are really cool pictures from that too.
You don't really see me smile a lot, but going to see live music is one of the things that does it for me. So.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and this is my chance to thank you in public for sneaking me onto the bill this year. I've been going to this event for a long time, and I've never been able to play it before, and I get to play this year, and I'm just so tickled about that. So thank you.
Hey, you're so welcome, Mike. I appreciate everything you've done over the years to support music, and I really appreciate what you do. And I think people need to come out and check you out. And I appreciate you playing. Thank you for being involved. I mean, it really does matter. And, like someone like you, deserves that, because you go out and you really promote the things that you're involved in. You work very, very hard to get out there. So, I appreciate all of your effort, and I appreciate you having me on today to talk. Yeah,
this is a fun event. And look, if I wasn't playing, I'd be going anyway, which you full well know.
Absolutely.
So let's try to get people to come. So folks who live in the greater Dayton area, if you're wondering how much it will cost you to go to this event, because, musicians need to eat, and we should go ahead and pay admission for shows so that they can eat. It will cost you $20 for a weekend pass in advance. Now, Nathan Peters, what is a weekend pass in advance get the person who pays $20?
They come Friday, Saturday, no additional charges or fees. Bang, you're in there for the weekend.
Both venues,
Otherwise,
yes.
if you're only wanting to come once and you want to save yourself $5, if you can only come on a Saturday or you can only come Friday, $15 at the door, or Friday night you can still buy the weekend pass, but it'll be $25. So definitely, I mean, you're getting to see near 30 different performers over 2 nights. We've got it shingled really well, so you can kind of, if you really hustle back and forth, you can see almost every single thing. And I typically do, because I typically go back and forth and be like, cool, that band's starting. All right, one song. All right, now I'm going back, or maybe 10 minutes, I need one of those little scooters, but
the scooter would make it a lot easier this year.
Yeah, right. Well, and I think they'll still be doing the Dora District at that point. So, you can get to-go beers and walk them back and forth. If there was one glimmer of nice thing that happened out of the pandemic, it's the fact that they allowed these districts to like shut down the streets and you can walk around with beer like in New Orleans and stuff. I just think it's such a no-brainer. And I wish, I would honestly not be upset if they just closed up both ends of Fifth Street there and just made a permanent like walkable area, even over through Yellow Cab or something. You could cut off parts of that road and just build side streets or something. We don't need to, nobody really ever needs to drive down like the 140-year-old brick road.
There are cities that do that. That's a conversation for another episode.
It's a conversation for somebody that would have the power to actually do that. But I like what they do now, that they just do it through the summer and the fall, and so it's even more walkable now because you just have to cross one crosswalk and then you're just in an open street district where you can walk. So it's kind of perfect.
So if you hustle, you can. And I'm not talking running. If you walk fast, you could probably get from Yellow Cab to Bob's in 5 or 6 minutes. If you're strolling, it might take you 10 or 15. But
yeah, totally. It's not a far walk. It's literally a block and a half or something.
Yeah.
It's that.
Get your ticket in advance. Look at the schedule. Circle who you want to see, and then make your plan to zigzag between Blind Bob's and Yellow Cab, and say hi to Nathan as you see him jogging past everywhere. The site where you go to get tickets in advance, I'm going to link to it in the show notes, but I'm also going to read it to you right now. It is, dear listener, if you have something to write with, or you can also hit the rewind button, I guess, 10-high-productions.square.site. So I'm going to read it to you nice and slow. 10, T-E-N, high, H-I-G-H, productions, PRODUCTIONS.square, SQUARE.site, SITE. Put that in your browser. Scroll down just a little bit, because the shows are organized by date, other than the really big last waltz ones on top. But after that, they're organized by date, and there you will find October 21st and 22nd, 6 p.m., Dayton Music Fest. I'd like to see you. Nathan, you'd like to see them too, right?
Absolutely. Please come out. We're going to be hyping this thing up, and it's better just to buy your ticket in advance because you save yourself a little money. It's always been just a blast. Everybody kind of knows what to expect because it's been going on for so long. And hustle around and see some just really cool things. There's so many diverse things happening for DMF as always every year. So there's going to be something for everybody, and it's always a really good time. So you definitely don't want to miss Dayton Music Fest 2022.
That is perfectly said. Any last messages for the folks, Nathan, before we let them go? Other than please come out to see us all on October 21st and 22nd.
Just stay safe, make your plans. Enjoy local music, buy some art from people. You never know which one of your friends will blow up at some point, and that little piece of art or music might be worth something down the road. So support art, because it's that's how art continues to exist.
It indeed is. Thanks for spending time with me, and man, I can't wait to hang out with you in a couple of weeks and have a beer and talk about music.
It's exciting. I can't wait myself, Mike. Thank you so much for taking your time today to talk to me.
Thank you very much to Nathan Peters for joining me on this episode. And also, again, Nathan, thank you for your hard work in putting together Dayton Music Fest. I can't wait. And it'll be nice for everyone to come see us. Hey, for those of you in the greater Dayton area, if you come to Dayton Music Fest, I will have brand new merchandise for you, t-shirts and hoodies. If you cannot come to Dayton Music Fest, well, you can still have the new merchandise. And if you'd like to know how to do that with a discount, I invite you to join my mailing list. The link for that will be in the show notes. Yeah, if you join my mailing list, I'll tell you early how to get a discount on the new merchandise. As always, thank you for listening, and I'm going to take you out this week with my favorite song from the first Lioness record. It's called Ebony the Lioness. And as a reminder, you can see this band at Blind Bob's on October 22nd as part of Dayton Music Fest. Thanks, everyone.